Hey, welcome to Easy Money MMA. Let us do a quick recap of last weekend. Basically, most of the bets turned out really good. A few got a little bit dicey. Bryan Battle looked really weird. He didn't fight like his usual self in the first round. He usually pressures hard and stays in the opponent's face. But he was kind of just very complacent, playing into Randy Brown's game. The last thing you want to do against Randy Brown is stay in the outside and playing that tit-for-tat range game. But yeah, I guess he was just off after all. He missed weight as well. Maybe that was also a reason that something went wrong with his training, that he couldn't maybe do cardio to cut weight. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but I thought he looked really weird, very disappointing. I thought he still won the fight 2-1. He was getting most of the clinch control time. Also, he was the only one doing anything in the clinch interactions. Yeah, but it was just a very boring and shit fight after all. I feel like he really didn't look good. In Shavkat too, we had 2.5 units on him. He also looked like shit. All he did was trying to press Ian Gary on the cage for the first 2 rounds. Yeah, that was a pretty easy way to win the round, but it looked really weird too. He did not look like the fighter he was against Jeff Neal, just staying in their face and trying to crack the opponent. Yeah, it was a pretty shit fight after all, even though I still thought he won, but it was not a dominant performance that I expected. I thought he would just outdog, outgrit, and outchin Ian Gary, using his pressure style to really break him, using his strength and power. But yeah, I can't complain since both of these hit our 3-unit Bryan Battle bet and 2.5 Shavkat bet. I'm pretty happy with how the underdogs played out, because basically I didn't see anyone picking them. Everyone was fading Aljo, everyone was fading Volkov's odds got from plus 200 to plus 285. All of the money was going to Sirogan for sure. Volkov had a pretty dominant victory. That was a really bad robbery for sure. But yeah, in hindsight, I was still happy with my play. Just unfortunate that the judges were super sketchy that day. Aljo was also a close one, man. The last round, when he got 3.5 unit control time, if that control time was, if he ended with the 3.5 minute control time, Aljo would have won it for sure. Like he won round 1. Round 2, that was Evloev's round. But round 3, a lot of people argue that Sterling should have won since Evloev only got 1.5 minute control time and basically didn't do much with it too. The one that really surprised me was the Gorimbo bet. I didn't place that much on him because it was, after all, a short notice fight. It was like only a few weeks short notice. Yeah, I thought it would be a dominant performance with Themba. I guess Luque's last fight was, I don't know, it almost seemed a bit sus. Almost seemed like it was rigged or something. Like he just took like 2 hits and just gave up. Maybe something sketchy was going on, who knows? I was very confident that Luque was fading hard as a fighter. He looked terrible his last 2 fights. Yeah, and Themba has been historically very durable. I don't think he got knocked out before. He got subbed before, and he was just out-strengthening, out-powering all of his opponents that he was facing. Yeah, very surprised of that crazy knockout. Nice play for Luque though. I look forward to seeing him fight in the future for sure. Yeah, Themba just, now all of his aura is gone. I don't know how long it'll take for him to work back into a title contender spot. Yeah, so overall, a really good weekend again. I'm happy with me going against the grain, picking those underdogs. Okay, and let's take a look at the past month before that. I absolutely killed it. Lots of almost clean sweeps week after week. So yeah, please subscribe, give me a like if you want to hop on the gains train. I've been making crazy units for months after months since I've been starting betting seriously. Okay, so let's get on to this week's best bets. I have 3 positions I'm really happy about that I'm sharing with you guys. My betting style is that I usually try to get on the best odds when the lines just dropped. I will be releasing a Discord subscription service because the best way to follow my bets is to place it at the exact same time that I place it, because like all of the bets that I place, the odds has gone down like majorly. Like the first one would be minus 260 Manel Cop. Like right now it's almost at minus 350 already after a few days. Yeah, I think there's really good value here. Yeah, Manel Cop has been around for a very long time. He was elite in Ryzen, came to UFC. Basically his only loss was Pantoja in my opinion, and he still won the 3rd round. Nicolau, that fight was a robbery. He should have won that for sure. Yeah, in the next 4 fights, he won in like pretty clearly 2 finishes, and he almost finished David Vorak as well. And the Felipe Dos Santos fight, that was a pretty dominant performance too. It was quite scrappy because Felipe really had a really good chin. If you pay attention to the fight, Santos was getting caught by like huge shots from Cop, and he basically used his chin to find a pretty competitive decision after all. But it was still a very clear win. Cop landed the more powerful and clean shots and out-volumed a lot as well. And the Mokaev fight, the first round, Cop won pretty easily, defended all the takedowns and landed the better shot, although like nothing much was happening, but it was still a pretty clear round 1 win. And after that, he broke his toe. Even with a broken toe, like a judge still gave him round 3. It was the last 2 rounds was still really close. So even with a broken foot, he can't even put any weight on it. He can still basically even fight with Mokaev. Yeah, Cop is really good in the feet, very beautiful to watch at times. Very good counter striker, has sick combo, pretty good power. Yeah, nice footwork. And he shows to have really good durability as well. He's never been KO'd. His only finish was like a sub, if I remember correctly. So yeah, against like another striker who's going to play his game with the durability that Cop has, very confident with him in this position. On the other hand, I think Bruno Silva is a little bit overhyped. He came back pretty hard from 4 losses and 1 draw. He was on quite a downhill trend after that. He took 1.5 years off, came back and beat JP Buys, Victor Rodriguez, and Tyson Nam. I think JP Buys and Victor Rodriguez doesn't really mean much. Tyson Nam is that wins a little bit better, but then these are still not very impressive wins. I still wouldn't be very high on the guy based on these 3 performances. Cody Durden's pretty good, but before that uppercut that caught Cody, he was still getting pieced up and striking against Durden. We just saw Durden getting outstruck by Josh Van. He's definitely not the most elite in striking. So yeah, I think Bruno Silva's recent KO and win streak has people overrating him a little bit. He's definitely a pretty good fighter, but I don't think he's top 5, not elite like Manil Cop's level. I really like Cop at minus 260. I dropped 2 units on him at this position. The next bet is Joaquin Buckley. Since Buckley came down to 170, he's been looking really good. 3 finishes. Fiallo sucks. I don't really win that nicely. That Morono performance was really nice. He basically dominated the whole fight, beat the hell out of him on the 3rd round too. It was a very dominant performance. Luke looked weird. Kind of just gave up right away. Nothing much happened in that fight. Ruzibov is a pretty promising prospect. Had a pretty sick win streak going on. A lot of people are pretty high on him. I think the line was even money odds. That was a pretty sick performance mixed up with wrestling, improved a lot, and a very dominant performance as well. Yeah, his last performance with Stephen Thompson was very impressive. I was looking at the fight back, looking very closely. Like, even before he caught him, it was a very close fight in the striking realm, which is very impressive against one of the best strikers in the whole sport. His blitz, his combos was getting closer and closer, and finally ended with a brutal KO. I rate that win very highly. Yeah, I think Colby Covington, who hasn't been looking good. He lost to Leon Edwards in a really shit fight. He said he broke his foot. Maybe that was a reason why he wasn't like moving much, very plotty. I think Buckley is just way more physical, stronger, younger, hits harder. And I think Buckley is very hard to hold down, it seems. So he can probably negate all the wrestling threat by Colby. Yeah, I'm just very high on Buckley at this point. I'm dropping a max bet 5 units on him. This is a very confident pick. Also, Kobe is fighting this at some sort of short notice as well. He was trying to fight Shavkat and somehow UFC gave him this fight. So he actually had much less time to prepare for this compared to Buckley. Buckley was supposed to fight Gary, so he knew he had a fight at this time a long time ago. So he was preparing for quite a while. Just the cards are really stacked against Kobe for this one. Next one is Sean Woodson against Padilla. Yeah, I'm really liking Sean Woodson's improvement. I think remember the draw he had where he almost got finished? He should have lost the fight but ended with a draw because of the point deduction on Saldana. If you look at that version of him compared to now, it's a massive difference. He looks way more composed. He looks like he doesn't overthrow much. He looks way more elusive. His confidence, his movement, everything. He looks completely different compared to a year and a half ago. So I really like his momentum. I really like how fast he's improving. His Dennis Bazookia fight and Charles Jourdain, that was very dominant. Completely outstruck them, outvolumed them for the 3 rounds. Very clear wins. I rate the performance pretty nicely. Alex Caceres, that was kind of a close one in the end, but the first one was still quite dominant as well. I think Padilla here, they both have pretty similar frame. Padilla kind of reminds me of Carlos Prates a little bit. He has really nice striking. He's kind of stationary. He's kind of plotty. He's quite a sniper with straight shots and combos. Very dangerous, very powerful for sure. But I just see his wins aren't great as well. Julian Erosa and Pauelo knockout. Not very high level components. And he got outstruck by Kyle Nelson. That's not a great look as well. Went to a pretty shit decision. I think if Padilla doesn't get a KO quick when he's fresh and powerful in the first half of the first round or in the first round, I think Sean Woodson would dance circles around him and outvolume him pretty easily. Woodson is more dynamic, more elusive and trickier, I think. Yeah, the chin is also a bit of an issue because Woodson got cracked hard by Saldana, and those weren't like super big shots. So his chin is also a bit sus. That's why I'm not laying down massive juice on this fight, but I'm pretty happy with dropping a 0.5 unit bet on Sean Woodson at -150. I still think that's a nice jab to get on. So yeah, this is it for this week. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys give me a like and subscribe for these juicy bets every week. All right, thank you. Bye bye.